I don't want to give advice
No,
to
but
someone.
it's good though, because you've probably been through like loads of like little losses as well before you got your massive win.
Plenty.
This was sent in by Owen. Kimi Antonelli will drop off at the end of the season like Oscar Piastri did last year.
I don't like him putting that into the universe.
Some changes around harvesting and deployment limits too should all mean that cars can be driven flat out around a qualifying lap, which is not what we have right now.
Going into my second season in F1 Academy now, I think I just feel so much better prepared than last year, to be honest.
Hello, Harry.
Hello, Izzy.
Hi.
Been a while.
It has been a while.
How are you?
I'm really tired.
You've been gallivanting in Japan, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been in Japan for 2 weeks while you were in Miami, which meant I was 13 hours ahead of what you were doing.
Oh, so that would have been, the race would have been at what time?
Sprint was about midnight, maybe 1 a.m.
Okay, that's doable.
That was doable.
Yep.
I did that. And then the race, because obviously 3 hours,
Yep.
different, all of that shenanigans. I'm going to be honest with you, Harry. I didn't watch it live.
And you know what? I won't hold it against you.
Because I do think it was about 4 a.m.
Yeah, that's rough. That is a tough one to get up for.
Yeah.
But actually, the race being moved 3 hours ahead of time because they had the rain, the lightning, the storms and all that, it did us all a favour. Because obviously nothing happened in the end, but we were all quite pleased because it meant we actually got a bit of a... After we did the podcast and all the editing and everything, all the work was done.
You had a bit of a jolly, didn't you?
Not jolly. We just had an evening. We could go out for dinner. Suddenly, we're a couple of bottle of wine deep with Damon Hill.
Kind of fun.
Which I didn't have on my bingo card. So, and he's got some good stories.
I bet he
I'll
has.
tell
I'm
you
kind
that.
of jealous.
Yeah, if you've not seen, he's got like a documentary and a book and everything. If you've not seen any of those, you've got to get it. But it's much more fun when you get it in person.
Quite a cool paddock to be in.
Yeah.
Would you say it's the best paddock?
You know what? The actual paddock is definitely up there in my top 5.
Did you do a lot of people watching?
It's so easy to do.
Yeah.
Especially because the actual main paddock is on the stadium, like on the pitch. So you could technically sit in the grandstands and just have a watch, and you see everyone. That's where everyone comes in. So you've got everyone from the actual NFL players, like the Miami Dolphins, who are usually there, to people like Messi, to I think it was Jimmy Fallon who was literally walking around doing stuff with Red Bull.
Yeah, didn't he like eat a microphone or something?
Oh yeah, he had a good grid walk moment with
Yeah.
Martin Brundle, up there with some of the best.
Yeah.
We were watching it from our commentary box before we got going, and it was hilarious.
Yeah.
So 10 out of 10 for the actual paddock vibes.
Do you know what we should do each race? We should have our favourite person in the paddock. Because remember last time we were talking about Jack Black?
Yes, good point.
Each race, we should have our highlight from the paddock. Who was the most interesting? Who was the weirdest? That kind of vibe.
Oh, okay. I'm not. Oh, you put him on the spot though. For
I think
Miami.
Jimmy Fallon did a lot.
I think I would put him as the best one because he also did a whole piece on his talk show and everything, and I just thought that's so cool for like Formula One. Like imagine even 5 years ago that would have been unthinkable. Like where you sort of when you get a bit nerdy like me and you take a step back and you go how far the sport has come in like even 10 years. That crossover is insane.
Yeah, that is cool.
So yeah, it was overall it was a good weekend, and it was just good to have Formula One back, and it gives us some stuff to talk about finally.
It does indeed, and we're talking about it in a very special place.
What do you think?
Our studio.
What do you think? Now, for those who listen to our other Chequered Flag podcast, the review shows, they will know this, but they will be used to seeing it. But it's pretty cool, the setup here, isn't it?
It's so fun.
Yeah, nice bit of merch.
We've got some weird and wonderful things on the wall.
That I reckon could go well on eBay, but I'm told
Yeah.
we're not allowed to sell them.
I just have a gut feeling we shouldn't have this Japan tabard.
Yeah, we're definitely getting into trouble for that.
Definitely being
Yeah,
stolen.
It's not okay.
But I think it's fine.
But it's cool. But we've got a lot to chat about on the show today, haven't we?
We're going to be busy.
We are going to be busy. You're going to hear from our resident F1 mechanic, Marc Priestley. We've also got something fun to bring you from Lando Norris and Declan Rice. Plus, we're going to discuss your hot takes and the latest memes from the F1 world as per.
We are indeed. But first, we have another very special guest. We have a current F1 Academy racer joining us. Let us welcome Alisha Palmowski. Alisha, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. I'm excited.
Alisha, it's good to see you. Welcome to, well, you've been on the Chequered Flag before, but this is the Chequered Flag Extra. So this is our slightly sideways look at Formula One in the non-race weeks. But we've got to talk about your racing as well. Obviously, in F1 Academy this season, been a bit of a disrupted start for obvious reasons, but you have had one race in the bag, or one round in the bag in China already. And not bad. Maiden pole position, wasn't it? How was that?
Pretty good.
Yeah, well, that was an awesome start to the year, obviously. A little bit unexpected, in all honesty, because Shanghai is a circuit that doesn't naturally suit my driving style, I'd say. So I was a little bit apprehensive starting the season at a circuit where isn't naturally suited to me. So didn't really know how it was going to go. But obviously going into my second season in F1 Academy now, I think I just feel so much better prepared than last year, to be honest. I think there's obviously a lot less unknowns. I'm much more calm than I've ever been before. I'm much more confident than I ever have been before. So I feel like I know more what's coming. I know more what to expect. So yeah, to get the first pole position, I think it was by a margin of 4.5 tenths as well. So domination, can I just say? Yeah. So that was a great start to the year. And then, yeah, so it's been a bit strange, as you mentioned, Harry, because we did that opening round and then we've had sort of like a 6-week, 2-month break now. So it's been all a bit strange, but yeah, it was a good start to the year.
And talk us through that break. What on earth have you been doing?
Great question. Not much, to be honest. It's been sim and gym, but a lot more of it. So my whole life pretty much is working on the simulator as much as possible, jump out of the sim, go straight to the gym to make sure I'm as physically prepared as possible. So I've just been doing all that, all the normal stuff, but double the amount of time, basically. So I'm going insane. I'm very bored. So I'm looking forward to getting back in the car in Montreal.
When Alisha, when you said about China not suiting your driving style and stuff like that, I mean, F1 drivers say that a lot. You know, some tracks suit them more than others, and we hear a lot about individual driving styles. But what does that actually mean? What is your driving style, and why would it not suit a particular track?
That's a great question. I think for me, a lot of it comes from your past experiences throughout different championships that you've raced in, different cars that you've raced in. So for myself, also being from the UK, obviously racing around the UK circuits, the track temperatures are normally quite low. It's normally raining or freezing here in the UK. So naturally, that means that the cars that I've driven in the past are quite loose. They're quite oversteery. So I'm used to having a car that's quite similar to what you'll hear Max Verstappen describe, actually, quite on the nose, quite a loose rear end. Whereas now racing in F1 Academy this year, the cars are different to what I've experienced in the past. There's some different limitations within the regulations of how you can set up the car. So we're limited with how much we can change the car balance. So you can't really manipulate it in a direction to suit a driver's driving style. It's more so that we have to adapt our driving to suit the car rather than changing the car to suit our driving style. So racing in hotter temperatures as well, that leans more towards understeer generally. The tyre degradation is a lot higher. So tyre management is now a factor that I've got to sort of learn and deal with, which I've never had to cope with in the past. So there's just been a lot to learn and a lot to get used to be honest, but that's a learning process that's never ending really. So I'm still gaining more and more confidence and learning more with every lap that I do in the car.
But you say that you're feeling a lot more confident this year as opposed to last year and you're ready for the challenge this year.
Definitely, I think so. I think I learned so much last year. I think in hindsight, I probably went into last year a little bit naive, to be honest. I think I didn't really appreciate just how big the challenge was and how big of a step it is to go into F1 Academy. You know, there were so many challenges and I learnt about things last year that I didn't know, if that makes sense. So I think going into this year, I just feel like I know the challenge, I know what's coming, I know my strengths and weaknesses from last year. So over the winter, I was able to come up with a plan of how to address those weaknesses of mine and basically how I want to approach this year and the changes I want to make. So yeah, I think I'm just a lot more excited, to be honest. I'm embracing the whole experience a lot more as well, just due to being a lot calmer.
Now, it would be remiss of me not to bring this up with the fact that we have a racing driver at a high elite level on the line. Alisha, I am getting my racing license this week, or that's the intention. I'm going down to Goodwood and I'm attempting to get my racing license. Now, I've done a bit of driving before, but I am a bit nervous, especially when, you know, you're being literally tested. Have you got any advice for me?
Great question. My advice would be drive fast, don't crash, to be honest. Quite straightforward. Keep it on the track. You know, that's it, to be fair. That's it. I mean, I think, you know, if you want to show off, you can go out the pit lane flat out, handbrake turn into turn one. But equally, you know, safety's key, isn't it? You want to show your instructor that you're calm, you're in control of the vehicle.
The hands at 10 and 2 on the wheel at all times. Is that how it works?
Exactly, yeah. I think I'd say do that for your first lap, you know, to like get confidence in your instructor. So they think, oh, yeah, I've got confidence, he's in control. And then just go rogue after that, like lap 2, full send, just show them what you've got.
Okay.
They might then pick you up as like a prodigy and
do you reckon
fast track
like,
you in.
Yeah, do you reckon there's someone
Exactly.
from Red Bull watching on the sidelines with like some binoculars ready to
Scouts.
scout me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Potentially, you never know. You've got to be on the top form, at all times. You never know.
If you can fit in the car.
Have you got a racing license, Izzy?
I do have a racing license.
And you passed it first time, easy as?
Yes. I don't think I should have that racing. I think I should probably give it back, if I'm honest.
Do you have to renew it after a certain amount of time?
Yeah, I don't think I'm ever getting mine back.
No pressure, Harry, but we expect big things now. You're the only one that's left.
You can do it.
I think I'll be fine.
You'll be
It's just me
fine.
squeezing in. I mean, talk about those scouts. I mean, there could be a Red Bull scout, Alisha. Well, how did you get scouted for Red Bull? Was there someone on the sideline sort of watching you going, yeah, we need to sign her up?
Yeah.
Sort of. I mean, can you blame them? I mean, how would you not want me? You know what I mean? But no, it was back in GB4. It was my first year in single seaters in 2024. And there was obviously an opportunity for Red Bull. They needed 2 drivers in F1 Academy for 2025 for last season. So they were scouting, there's a lot more females as well getting involved in motorsport. So that talent pool is constantly widening. So it's getting more tricky and more tricky to get a seat in F1 Academy. But I did really well in the opening round of F1 of GB4 in 2024. I won my first race at Alton Park, so I think that sort of put me on the radar. And then I got invited to the factory in Milton Keynes, and then had to go through this long, stressful selection process, effectively. But I managed to succeed, and then I'm sat here wearing this shirt, which is a dream come true.
And it's certainly going well. It's been great to sort of follow your progress. Before we wrap things up, Alisha, we've spoken a bit about this season. Obviously, Canada is next for you in F1 Academy. How are we feeling about that and sort of targets for the rest of the year? I imagine it's a championship challenge.
Definitely, to be honest. I think I'm really excited for Montreal, firstly. It's going to be a very busy weekend for us because we now have 3 races as opposed to the normal 2 that we have after the cancellation of Jeddah. So quite a stressful weekend. There's a lot of points on offer. But yeah, I think my objectives obviously is to win, get pole positions, win as many races as possible. I think consistency will be very key for me this year. I obviously want to win the overall championship. So as much as I want to get pole positions and win races, it's equally as important to me that I don't make mistakes. And, if I'm 3rd quickest, make sure that I finish 3rd and I don't drop down to 4th, just keep racking in those points. So I'm going to be giving it my all, but equally be considered as well in my approach and not make any mistakes. So, yeah, I'm just really excited to get back in the car, to be honest, after the long break. So it should be good.
Alisha, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck in Canada, and we will speak to you again soon.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
Harry, it's time for some hot takes. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, hit me with the first one, please.
Okay, our first hot take. This was sent in by Owen. Kimi Antonelli will drop off at the end of the season like Oscar Piastri did last year.
I don't like him putting that into the universe.
I feel like that's harsh.
Really
We
harsh.
did ask for a hot take, to be fair. I mean, Piastri dropped off last year. Still, I mean, he was in his 3rd season of Formula 1, still learning.
Sure.
And still, it came, I think it was to get technical about it, low grip tracks towards the end of the year.
Okay.
Where he's becoming a bit of his Achilles heel. I know they do call me the F1 commentator.
Knowledge.
I know, can you believe it? But, so that was a bit of an Achilles heel for him. And then, but also I think it might have been, he was so far ahead in the championship. He wasn't far ahead, but he was leading the championship for so long that I wonder if maybe the pressure, first time dealing with that, was just starting to show, and it kind of emphasised those cracks, which then could apply to Kimi Antonelli because 2nd season of Formula 1, and right now, I mean, weekend just gone. Did he not put George Russell well and truly into the shade?
I mean, he's nailing it. He is absolutely smashing it. But I'm not going to put that into the universe.
No.
I think he can do it.
Kimi for champion.
Kimi for champion.
I mean, I think it would be incredible. Italy would erupt. I think
Italy would explode.
I think they'd have a national. I think they'd have a national day.
They would.
They would have a day.
He would
off.
be a hero.
Yeah, it would be.
And it would just be so impressive. He's so young.
He'd be taken through the streets and celebrated like royalty, I reckon.
And I'd love to see that.
So, Owen, I don't agree. I don't think we agree. I don't think Kimi Antonelli will drop off at the end of the season. I think there will be mistakes along the way.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be smooth.
Which will keep things exciting for us. But I don't think he'll have a massive drop like Piastri did last year.
Good, positive vibes. Like
Next
that.
one.
Okay, next one from Goyson567. This is a bit of a complicated one, okay, so you need to listen carefully.
Okay.
Red Bull will drop Liam Lawson in the summer, move Hadjar back to Racing Bulls, and then sign Fernando Alonso. Yikes.
So first of all, Red Bull dropping Liam Lawson in the summer. I think you only think about doing that if Arvid Lindblad starts to absolutely annihilate him every single weekend, which at the moment he's not doing.
No.
But Lindblad is highly rated. He's had a brilliant start to the year. But Miami just gone, he really struggled. So he's in his rookie year. So at the moment, I see no reason to get rid of Lawson.
Yeah, there isn't a legitimate reason yet.
But Lawson is in this weird time because he obviously had the promotion to Red Bull, demoted after 2 races, and then that's when Tsunoda came in and that whole thing happened, which seems like a lifetime ago now, but it actually wasn't. So he's had the chance and now he's back in the junior team. Where is his future? It's probably not at Red Bull now.
Yeah, he's basically having to prove himself all over again.
Basically. And he's going to have to do what like a Pierre Gasly and Alex Albon have all done and probably go somewhere else to keep his career going in Formula One. So, but right now, I don't see them dropping Liam Lawson because you then indicate, Goyson, that you would move Hadjar back to Racing Bulls. Now, Hadjar didn't have the best of weekends in Miami.
He did not.
Had a bit of a rookie crash in the chicane during the race. But overall, he's had a fairly decent start to the year. I think it's too early.
Way too early. I really like Hadjar. I've said this before and I'll say it again.
Yeah.
I think he is a really good
Why?
rookie. I don't know, I've just got a gut feeling.
I'll tell you what,
That's my knowledge.
I played paddle with him a couple of weeks ago. Just saying, coming to big
dropping
sports
that in
soon. And he was on great form. Like he was properly chilled out, relaxed. He's got such a good relationship with his engineers. And again, it is only his 2nd season as a Formula One driver. And I wonder if with all the changes that we've seen with the Red Bull team in the last couple of years, with sort of staff coming and going, whether now there is a bit of a new era where they're not going to be as harsh. They'll keep Hadjar at least for the season. Because if he keeps sort of improving, okay, Miami was tough. He was a second off Max Verstappen in sprint qualifying, and it was about, I think he only closed it by a couple of tenths in Grand Prix qualifying. That's not a gap you want. If that continues, then there's a real trouble. The most interesting thing about this hot take, though, is that so Liam Lawson will be dropped for Hadjar, and then Red Bull will sign Fernando Alonso.
I'd kind of love to see it.
Did you know that they once tried to sign Fernando Alonso?
Recently?
Over a decade ago.
Oh, Fernando.
He's
been there for a long time.
I think the story goes Adrian Newey and Christian Horner met Fernando Alonso in a car park near Heathrow and were trying to convince him to sign for Red Bull around the sort of early 2010s, 2009, 2010, I think it was. Somebody will correct me if I'm wrong on that, but it was around that period of time. And nearly had it over the line. But Fernando didn't want to do it, and there was a Ferrari drive in the works for him, and you don't turn down Ferrari. But he's a man that's made all the wrong career moves in his life.
Maybe they shouldn't have gone to a dodgy car park to convince him. That's where the
best deals are done, no?
Yeah, I think maybe Fernando looked at that and thought, I'll pass, thanks. This is a bit weird.
No, well, clearly it didn't happen. I don't think it's going to happen now.
I don't think it's going to happen.
But that would be incredible.
Amazing.
And maybe Alonso is at a point now where if an opportunity came up like that, looking at Aston Martin where there's no immediate signs of improvement.
Well, his hands are hurting.
But the best thing to say about them after Miami is that they finished the race. Both cars finished the race.
I mean, well done, brilliant, but...
So maybe if there is a Red Bull drive, I would not be surprised. Fernando's getting on a bit now, 45 this year, and he'll go, no, let's do it, Red Bull, why not?
Last hurrah.
Exactly.
Last one from Andy. In Canada, we'll have a shock Q3 appearance from a lower midfield team.
I like this a lot. I'm a big fan of a lower midfield team. The battle for 6th and 7th in the constructors towards the end of the year is often the most riveting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna agree with this, and I'm gonna go one step further, and I'm gonna say it's gonna be Sergio Perez.
Wow.
Yeah, in the Cadillac.
Okay.
It's gonna be a crazy qualifying.
Yeah.
There's gonna be weather.
Ooh.
And he's gonna survive the elements to get a top 10 start.
I'll go with that.
He'll then plummet in the race.
He'll be nowhere.
But we've seen this happen before. In Canada in particular, when you get, and actually at the time of talking, I have no idea what the weather's going to be like on Saturday, so this is completely ill-informed information.
It's a complete guess.
But if there is any remote chance of rain and changeable weather, I remember a young Valtteri Bottas in his first season at Williams in 2013. He put it on the front row in Canada in a car that had absolutely like no cause to be there because he loved that track and they made use of the changeable conditions. I just wonder if you're going to look at a team outside of the lower Q3, the lower midfield.
Why not Cadillac?
Why not Cadillac? That's my gut feeling.
Your memory.
You disagree?
No, your memory of specific races is terrifying. I just thought I'd let you know.
It's mainly that era. I don't know what it is.
It's like really weird.
Yeah, but the thing is, it is 2012, 13, 14. I'm pretty hot on. You asked me what happened 2 weeks ago, and I might struggle.
I don't know what happened at Miami.
Watch the highlights, you'll be fine.
Yeah,
but do you not agree with Andy here? Top Q3? No?
Yeah, I think like you said, weather could really spice it up. Love a bit of rain. Changes things. I just have a gut feeling it won't be Cadillac.
But we'll see. Find out.
We shall see. Now, Harry, before we talk about the all-important memes that we have this week, there's been some changes. It's been spoken about a lot online. New regulations, specifically the engine rules.
They have indeed. It has been a hot topic since the start of the year. Obviously, huge changes when it came to the engine rules. And they've been changed again, but not until 2027. So, who better to explain everything that we need to know about this is a former McLaren F1 mechanic.
Hi, I'm Marc Priestley. I'll be back in commentary alongside Harry this weekend for the Canadian Grand Prix. But I'm here to tell you about some proposed changes to Formula One that might just put a smile on your face if you're one of those frustrated people not enjoying the way F1 cars are having to be driven this year. Those changes, which have been agreed unanimously, in principle at least, centre around the fact that we want to reduce the amount of power coming from the electrical side of the hybrid system by around 50 kilowatts and upping the amount of power coming from the internal combustion engine by about the same amount, 50 kilowatts, just less than 70 horsepower. Some changes around harvesting and deployment limits too should all mean that cars can be driven flat out around a qualifying lap, which is not what we have right now. So that's all potentially good news. Some hurdles still to overcome around the cost of redesigning chassis, increasing fuel tanks to cope with that extra fuel flow limit, which will be part of the changes too, and whether we need to increase the cost cap to accommodate all of those things. But in principle, everyone agrees we need to make changes. So if that doesn't whet your appetite enough, that doesn't put a smile on your face, how about this? The FIA president has hinted strongly that as soon as 2030, we could even go back to full-blown V8s.
Thank you, Mark. There you go. No better explainer than from a former F1 mechanic, Marc Priestley there, who will be part of our live coverage of the Canadian Grand Prix, which I need to plug, will be on BBC Sounds. Just search F1 across the Canadian Grand Prix weekend.
Harry, it is now time for the most important section of our show, the memes.
It is. And we've done some good research for this week.
Yeah, this is my favourite kind of research, to be honest.
And we're sort of, there's a collective theme here around particular drivers post-Miami that we're going to be looking on. What do you want to start with? I think we start with Charles Leclerc and that horrendous final lap. Probably one of the worst final laps that any driver has ever gone on.
Really bad.
The tis but a scratch. Leclerc hitting the barriers and still continuing the race.
Going, didn't he?
Kept on going.
Kept going.
Which got him into trouble, really.
Yeah.
But he's a warrior through and through to the end.
He is. I also like it's a Charles meme with all the engine lights coming on.
Every single check engine light possible, available.
Basically everything telling him, please stop this car.
If you've not seen it, they did release a clip of Charles Leclerc's entire onboard from the final lap, and it's just, it's tough to watch from turn one.
I mean, and, I know he got a penalty, but fair play for getting the thing round.
I mean, I think, that was that persistence to its absolute core. And then Verstappen nicking him on the final, like literally to the line. Well, then Verstappen got his own penalty. Actually, that brings us on quite nicely. Because Max Verstappen, I'm sorry, but I would like to find out, who decides how the voting system works, actually, for Driver of the Day. I'd like to get a behind-the-scenes look at that.
I think it's pure entertainment.
Clearly, because... Are you not entertained from Max Verstappen?
Yeah.
Also, first of all, catching the spin was pretty decent.
This is exactly what I was about to say. Yeah. There should have been more memes about that spin because that was genuinely so impressive. That driving.
It's impossible to sort of imagine when you're seeing it. It's like, surely that's not Verstappen going round.
Yeah.
But then more impressive is the save in managing it and then going again.
But it's also the sheer confidence that he's felt that thing go round and he's kicked it round even further to carry on.
Yeah. But I think this is also going on to the fact that this Macarena rear wing or this super spinny mid. I don't agree with the Macarena thing. I don't think that works, but everyone's going with it. But they're Red Bull turning up with like an even bigger one.
Surprise.
And just absolutely go, hey, we're right here with you, by the way.
Love it. Another one is our upside down Gasly.
Yes. Now,
he flew.
No one ever likes to see a car upside down, but the safety worked here. But I particularly enjoyed the Simpsons spin on it, which is Flavio Briatore suddenly thinking, it's Franco, but no, it's not. It was Pierre Gasly because, I mean, you could be forgiven for thinking it might be Colapinto in the wars here. Yeah. But no, Gasly, innocent victim from Liam.
Absolutely. And a hell of a victim. He was sent skyward.
He was. And then he came back round again, but was sort of like half up, half down still. Meanwhile, Colapinto, not a problem at all, breezed through. Great result from Franco Colapinto.
Really
Miami.
good. I've also, just back on the memes a second,
Yeah.
I just thought of another one in my head that I've seen.
Go on.
I've seen a lot of MotoGP sort of stances, and then you see Pierre Gasly in exactly the same angle, but in an F1 car, which is impressive to do.
A proper lean.
Yeah.
Really on two wheels, like the bikes.
But like you said, the safety of those cars, unbelievable.
A testament to what
Actually
they've done for this
unbelievable.
year. So good work from them. And actually, one final one that I've got for you is, did you catch Kimi Antonelli paying tribute to a former Kimi in Formula One, Kimi Raikkonen, on the radio? Kimi Raikkonen, known for his what?
Yeah.
BWOH, for those who want to spell it out. That was close on the radio in the pit lane, it was nice to sort of be reminded that Kimi Raikkonen kind of paved the way for Kimi Antonelli.
For the Kimis.
Yeah.
Can we talk about a meme that doesn't exist?
Yes.
That we have spoken about
yes.
off camera?
Yes.
Apparently everyone in the Miami paddock got electrocuted.
Now, I feel like I thought this was known, but obviously not. So because we were talking about how the actual paddock's on the pitch, you're not actually on the grass. They lay down AstroTurf, which obviously develops this kind of static shock for everyone involved. And I only realised it when me and producer Joe were going around shooting some hashtag content. Yes. And I was trying to look at what he just filmed on his phone, and then we just had about 3 shocks with each other in the space of about 5 seconds and could not work out. Everything we touched,
electric.
Shock.
Now, are you sure it's not just you?
No, I mean, look, we've got chemistry, but it's not like that.
Okay,
so
sure.
It's a common thing throughout the Miami paddock. Shockgate.
Shockgate
is what, if you're ever lucky enough to go to the paddock in Miami, be prepared.
Get ready, you're going to get electrocuted.
Get ready for that. So, we need to make a meme for that anyway. But no, those are the memes we discovered this week. So I quite enjoyed those. So thank you for sending a few in as well. Before we go, we have got something fun to bring you, if this wasn't fun enough already. We've got F1 World Champion Lando Norris and Arsenal midfielder Declan Rice, who have been speaking with Betty Glover about title battles, F1 and football.
I feel like you do have confidence in yourself and the team. Like I wouldn't have said the same thing over a year ago, but that's one of the things I learned the most is go out on the pitch, enjoy it. Yeah. As long as you've done your preparation, you can stay calm and chill. But I don't know. I don't want to give advice.
No,
to
but
someone.
it's good though, because you've probably been through like loads of like little losses as well before you got your massive win.
Plenty.
That's like the process I've been involved in. It's like I've won a trophy at West Ham. Obviously, nothing with Arsenal yet, but we're building towards that. It's going to come at some point. It's just you've got to keep going.
Everything's about keeping the team together,
100%.
supporting each other, being honest with one another, but like keeping the morale up,
100%.
So, but it's cool to see.
What do you think of each other's sports then? Lando, do you like football?
I love football. I did a lot of sports when I was younger. Football was the one I enjoyed the most. That wasn't racing, mainly because I was tiny. Like all I did when I played rugby was get beaten up the whole day. It wasn't for me. It was not for me. But I love football, and the sport I played the most was football when I was younger. And I drifted away from it, obviously, when I got really into racing. But it is a sport that kind of brings everyone together. It's just cool, It's cool that I get to watch. And like I said, I drifted away, but I used to collect my match attacks and stuff when I was younger, and I loved it. And I used to watch a lot of games and all those things, but only until recently did I start to go to some games and kind of get to experience the atmosphere, the feeling, the vibe. And after speaking to Declan today, like to get to know the cool, like behind the scenes stuff, you know, of what you're talking about when you speak to your managers and what they're shouting across the pitch and all these like little things that you don't see on TV. That's the cool stuff, you know, especially as an athlete. There's so much stuff that we talk about and do behind the scenes that no one sees. That's the stuff that actually people want to know about. So the more I get to hear about it, the more I see it, the more I kind of want to get involved in it.
Quickly, what position would you be?
I used to be winger when I played rugby, mainly because I was away from
number
everyone.
10. I think you're a creative little number 10.
Yeah.
Young
Really?
striker. Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Nifty number 10.
I'll do it.
And do you think you could get in an F1 car?
No chance. I think today's taken it to like a whole new level for me. Like watching it on TV is one thing, but then getting in the sim and actually having that experience of half feeling what it's like. First of all, the nerves. It's like what it's like being in that tight little compact area, and then to drive like at the pace you do, and like with the people around you, and obviously like your life's on the line in a way.
Yeah.
Like you're driving at such a speed, it's crazy, and to see how it all works is, for me today, it's been such an experience. Honestly, it's been incredible.
Because the one thing I found, like I guess you're nervous today driving. I went on at Wembley, like walking out onto the pitch.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I'm pretty nervous here. It's weird how, you know, you get so comfortable at your own sport, even though it's in front of the world and it's cameras everywhere. Like you get very comfortable on doing your own thing. But then as soon as you step out of that zone, even though it's pretty similar, like
it's different.
You're breaking it, you know. So it's cool to try something different.
Great to hear from Lando Norris and Declan Rice there. Glad to see that Norris's title advice is paying off for Arsenal, who look like they're going to take the title in the Premier League. And you can watch that full chat with Betty on the BBC Sport YouTube page. Right, Izzy, I think that's us done for the week.
I think it is. What a jam-packed show. A reminder that you can watch us on the BBC Sports YouTube page, as well as iPlayer, and listen on the Chequered Flag feed on BBC Sounds.
Absolutely. And we will be back next week with our usual Chequered Flag programming around the Canadian Grand Prix, which you can listen to across the 5 Live network or on BBC Sounds. Just search F1. Right, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.